Team Fortress 2 is a multiplayer first-person shooter video game, developed and published by Valve. It was released in October 2007 as part of the Orange Box video game bundle for Microsoft Windows and the Xbox 360. But enough of its Wikipedia page. This game is ridden with bots and hasn't had a proper update in about 3 years. And to explain why that is, we must take a trip to the past.
What we do here is go back.
Back when I was a small child, I was a businessman, but I didn't dream in money. I dreamt in keys and ref. You see, this game used to have a thriving economy. You could flip in-game items and make an actual profit. We're not talking an in-game profit, we're talking about real-life money. One of my prime business techniques was to enter one of those Minecraft trading servers and then request every single person in the server until one person accepts my trade request, and then I basically try and scam them. Though I had little success with all these trading shenanigans, I played Team Fortress 2 a lot. I made a lot of friends playing Team Fortress 2, and to this day it's definitely on the list of my top games of all time. But this isn't a video talking about my experiences with Team Fortress 2, it is about the downfall of the game. There is a lot of stuff to cover here, so I have split it into 3 categories. So the TF2 economy itself is far from dead, but to the average person who recently picked up the game, it may as well be. There is a reason that trading is literally not profitable anymore, unless you're trading with items worth hundreds of dollars. And that reason is trade bots. If you were to go on backpack.tf and search for literally any item in the game, you will find these bots selling it. And they sell it for a profit, but a profit of 1 scrap. This is the lowest possible profit you can make, so it wouldn't be practical for a normal person to just go and sell for this tiny profit. It would be too time consuming and not efficient at all. But with the use of these bots, the bot owners are doing thousands of trades per hour, and that 1 scrap profit per trade doesn't seem too shabby anymore. If you're asking why it wasn't always like this, it's because bot technology has advanced significantly since Team Fortress 2 released. These rules don't really apply for higher tier items because there's less of them in circulation. So if you wanted to get into trading nowadays, you would have to set a significant amount aside to start. Okay, that was a lot of information, but basically, in summary of what I'm saying, low tier trading doesn't really work anymore. As a result of this, Team Fortress 2 trading seems a lot more commercial. I don't think this is really a bad thing, in fact I saw it as inevitable. But I know a lot of people who because of this kinda just stopped trading in the game, and therefore stopped playing as well. It's one of those things that I saw as fun and a really redeeming quality of the game, and I just don't see it like that anymore. Also, a key is worth fucking 50 ref now. Not to be confused with Valve's Team Fortress 2 bots. These bots find their way into almost every casual pub, and they hack. They're obviously coded by an external programmer and hosted by someone else. And the motivation of the hoster is the thing that confuses me the most. It's not free to host these bots, and there's no financial gain of hosting them. So why do they do it? Do they want to see the TF2 community angry? Do they gain pleasure out of other people's frustration? Regardless of the hoster's motivation, these bots are here, and it looks like they are here to stay for quite a while. It's kinda hard to describe how much worse these bots make the player experience. You know how when you're playing any FPS game, you have your middle finger permanently rested on W? Well, when you're playing Team Fortress 2, you have your index finger permanently rested on the F1 key. Queue times for regular casual lobbies take 20 minutes at tops, but about 80% of games you queue into are overrun with bots, so you have to leave and then queue again. Because of this, getting into a real game took me 2 hours sometimes. And when this happened, sometimes I would only be playing for an hour, and then bots would infest the server. It's gotten to a point where I'm questioning how real these player numbers are, because a good 20% of these players just seem to be bots. Why can't you just kick the bots, you might be saying? Well, you technically can just kick the bots, but only if both teams do kick the bots. That does happen a lot of the time. But what ends up happening is after a round or a game, a bunch of people start leaving because they've got to go do their jobs or something. They've played enough Team Fortress 2 for the day, and then that's when the bots all join. The bots have this weird ass system where they can kick other people who try and kick them, and then when people try and kick the bots, if there's enough bots in the game, they'll all just vote no, and then they won't get kicked. There's not really anything else to say about it apart from the fact that it's really weird and really annoying. Like, queue times can take 2 hours sometimes, and that's not okay for a game with this many players. So, if you're wondering why I went through the first 2 points really fast, it's not because they are unimportant, it's just that there's not much to say about them. I think they're very important issues to the game, but the first one is about the economy, and when the developers designed the game, they weren't thinking about the economy at all. And in terms of the bots, that's something that could be fixed with a single update. But the reason I saved this issue for last is because I think it is the main factor affecting the downfall of the game. Now notice I use the words the downfall of the game. This game is not dead. As long as there's 2 people playing the game, it will never die. But I think because of Valve's lack of interest in the game has fallen down so far from where it used to be. Let me explain. You see, when Valve first announced this game, it had so much potential. It was like that kid who always did really well in school without even trying. But as I've been watching this game grow up, I understand how the teacher feels when that kid with so much potential puts the bare minimum effort into every class and gets a bad grade. Remember when I said TF hasn't had a proper update in 3 years? Well, before those 3 years, it hadn't had a proper update in 2 years. And before that, it was getting updates about 1 per year. What this means is that in the span of the last 6 years, this game has gotten 3 updates. Compare this to any other majorly popular Valve game like CSGO, and you'll see that that game gets updates almost every month. And not minor updates, not like bug fixes, like actual like weapons and sometimes even game modes. This makes actively playing really demotivating, because at the end of the day, you know that Valve does not care about it at all. If there's something about this game that's dead, it is competitive mode. Casual's map making is not balanced at all. In fact, the only thing that's keeping this game mildly fresh is the community, and a lot of them are just leaving because it just doesn't suffice anymore. I think there definitely was a time where Valve loved Team Fortress 2. But that time has passed by over half a decade. Over the course of about 5 years, Team Fortress 2 has not changed. But that's the real reason it has gotten worse. You love pizza, right? Well, imagine having pizza for dinner every single night. The pizza is always made in the same condition, but there are only a couple flavors you can choose from. Now I think I've run this analogy to the ground, but essentially what I'm saying is I love Team Fortress 2, but I don't enjoy it anymore. Hey, yeah, you, hey, you want to subscribe? You know, subscribing is really good because you get to become part of the 0.4%. Also, if you subscribe after watching this video, I'll make more of these videos. So you should do it.